Thank you very much for inviting me to this great conference. Okay, I'm Kevin Lианг. I'm the head of investment in China. Unfortunately, it seems that the phone is not really aligned. Okay, so bear with me on this. And actually, it's like my colleague Andre is also here, and then he is our HTC president in Russia. Okay, HTC. Okay, most people know about HTC is like, oh, we make cell phone, right? Of course, it's like, actually we are the communication innovator. We have been making the first Windows CE phone, Windows CE device, the first 3G phone, the first 4G phone, the first touchscreen phone, and of course, it's like the first commercial VR device, the Vive, over the past 20 years. Most people thought that HTC is just a hardware company. Actually, we have more than hardware. Okay, HTC Vive, of course, we're selling hardware, but we also have the Vive port, the App Store, which is a platform. We have Vive Studio, we're producing a lot of different content, and ViveX is the accelerator. Okay, which, and ViveX actually is what I'm responsible for. Okay, for the hardware, actually we have a full range of different products, from the Vive Focus with standalone, the PC VR, the Vive, and also the Vive Pro, which is a premium device for us. And we're launching, we have launched a new official device for the McLaren Sport program last week in Abu Dhabi. And actually, we will, yeah, probably I cannot really mention about that, but of course, we'll be launching more and more hardware device in the future. I'm from China. Actually, I can actually speak on behalf of China market. We have been like an absolute key leader of VR in China. More than like 60% of the market share in terms of revenue. And we have a very, very strong ecosystems worldwide in terms of like investor, in terms of application, the platform tools, institution, channel, hardware, everything. We pretty much have the most comprehensive VR platform in the world, ecosystem in the world. For the Vive port, we mentioned about the App Store. We have like more than 3,000 content on our App Store already. And Vive Studio, we've been producing and distributing a lot of different content. And since I'm from China, I would talk a little bit more about China because I believe that is a little bit different from Russia. Our president, Xi Jinping, he singled out AR, VR, and AI to be the disruptive technology that has changed the world. And in China, whenever the leader said, we follow. Okay, so once he says something like that in 2016, then 3 different cities in China, at least 3 different cities in China, try to fight to be the capital, real capital in China, which is like Chengdu, Nanchang, and Fuzhou. And the government is spending a lot of money on this. Okay, say for this event in Nanchang, which happened last month, the whole city become a VR city. The mayor and the city spend more than hundreds of millions of RMB, which is like almost like hundreds of millions of US dollars into VR, setting up everything. Of course, one silly thing is that they spend so much money on this event, making like public holiday for the whole city. All the students don't need to go to school, no worker need to go to school, they just want to join this VR carnival in China. But they're not really spending too much money in investing startup, VR startup, unfortunately. Okay, so it's more than like propaganda events. And 5G, one of the most important things is China really wants to be leading in 5G. And I will talk about like why 5G is important in VR. So a lot of mobile telecom operator come to us and say, okay, we need to invest in VR because there's no more application on 5G, okay, unfortunately. And like this, it's like they spend billions of RMB, which is like also 100 billion, on building a theme park on VR. And of course, it's like, I'm not too sure it's a very, very great investment, but at least you can see that the government is really standing behind in pushing VR. Okay, this is a school. Okay, we have a lot of schools in China adopting the VR education. It's just like these are using the Vive, and these are using Focus. And one really important changes over the last year, 2018, is that we can see that there's a lot of safety training happening in China. Okay, the reason is there's a new law in China and this new government department set up saying that if there is major accident that kills like a dozen of people, and then the government head of that province need to step down. So everyone is putting like the safety, construction safety, the coal mine safety, everything is very, very high priority. So this kind of company doing safety training in VR actually doing very, very good. Okay, one of the companies that we have in Vive, they can achieve like $5 million revenue in just one single year. And then their revenue growth like 200 or 300% in the next years. And another thing is that actually there's some other company in doing like VR in the legal system, using VR for like as evidence or crime scene regeneration, and is also getting a lot of government budget on this. Okay, communist application. Okay, another thing is like they want to recreate the scene where like the communists, how the communists fight the civil war, whatever. And then, yeah, this is like a lot of like government-driven project that allow the real startup in China making a lot of money. Okay. So the next part, okay, we talk about Vive reality. That's very, very important. Okay. Actually, this concept is from our chair lady, Xie Wang. He announced it during the MWC in Barcelona 2018. What she talked about is like cloud computing over 5G will enable every single VR and AR terminal to be the most powerful device in the world, bringing more expensive, immersive experience than ever. Okay, this is very important. Okay, but she only talked about like 5G and VR, AR. Right now, Vive reality covers way more than that, and I will talk about this. The first thing, it is a conceptual video. But think about this. VR and AR is not that different. If the screen is less transparent, it could be VR. If it's more transparent, it could be AR. If someone who understands VR, it actually is something like that, right? And technology is already there. But of course, this is a conceptual video. Okay? And then I'm not too sure if anyone have watched this movie. It's called Hyper Reality, and you can actually watch it on YouTube. Okay? It is also a conceptual video. But think about this. In the AR world, it may not be the world that we want to live in, but because it's a little bit more exaggerated. Everything can be overlaid with a layer with advertisement. Okay, all the wall that we're seeing, right? All the floor that we're seeing, okay, can be overlaid with advertisement. Think about this. Google, Facebook, they become company which market valuation with like hundreds of billions, right? Google is now 700 billion. Facebook is 400 billion. They become so big only because they're selling ads on your smartphone, on your PC, right? In a very tiny space of your laptop and your mobile phone, it can become hundreds of billions market cap company. If every single world, every single space that you can see can be turned in advertisement, how big the business opportunity it could be, right? And that's why it's all the big companies. It's like Facebook, Microsoft, Qualcomm, Google, whatever, Apple. They want to get into the AR because it's huge. Okay, and also about AI, right? Okay, smart speaker. Okay, almost everyone in China have a smart speaker right now because it's so cheap. But is smart speaker or the smartphone is the right platform for AI? Okay, what we believe is that your lab brain, okay, it's more like AI. It's about reasoning, it's about math, it's about calculation. and your right brain is about presentation. It's more like AR and VR. And what we believe is that AR and VR is the best platform for your AI. Okay, with AI on VR and AR, what happened in movies, okay, which you guys take it for granted, right, can actually be turned into reality. Look at this, Jarvis. Jarvis is actually an AR assistant, if you're aware of. Look at this movie. Okay, play. Blade Runner 2049, right? Okay. And Joey, okay, is actually a VR or AR assistant. When you're watching a movie, you take it all for granted. But actually, it could happen in the near future with AR and VR with AI. Next thing about 5G. Okay, right now we're in a dilemma. Okay, having the wireless device, having like the standing device like the Focus, okay, it gives you the maximum mobility. Okay, but now, unfortunately, the rendering power, the quality is not really that immersive. But having a tender device like the Vive Pro gives you maximum performance, maximum immersiveness, but it limited your mobility, okay? And that's how 5G come into place, okay? With 10 gigabit per second bandwidth and 1 millisecond of latencies, it is a total game changer, okay? You can have maximum mobility with a mobile device, okay? And the next thing about blockchain, okay, actually we have to talk more about blockchain. Actually, we're launching our first blockchain phone, the Exodus, okay, very soon. But why we're going to do the blockchain? One thing that a lot of people overlooked is that VR or AR device is the platform that is so close to your face. What does it mean? Okay, it can actually track your eye. Okay, in the future VR or AR device, it will definitely have the eye tracking. Okay, it means that it can track your eye where you're looking in every milliseconds. See how much information, personal information that you're going to generate. Okay, it can have a camera and look into your face. It can detect your facial expression. If you put like EEG sensor onto the headset, it can even know what you're thinking, okay? That is a lot of privacy that you may want to protect with blockchain. The other thing is we talk about 5G. Okay, I think another speaker talked about like, okay, having a lot of edge server, right? 5G is not enough for VR. We need to set up a lot of edge server, which is very, very expensive. Who is going to fund it? Maybe using the blockchain, maybe using decentralized model, I don't know, okay, maybe. So blockchain is very important in the whole concept. So actually, I'm having like a graph to summarize it. Actually, it's like VR and AR is going to converge, okay? And AI is the best platform for VR and AR. 5G will support VR and AR, okay, for maximum mobility. And blockchain, for one, it's going to protect a lot of information generated by AI or like body movement or your eye tracking, everything. And it may help us on the 5G and funding how the 5G edge server, whatever system can set up. Okay. So the last part I'm going to talk about Vive, and is what I'm responsible for. Okay, we have like 6 locations right now in Shenzhen, Beijing, Tel Aviv, Taipei, San Francisco, and London. Actually, it's like I'm in charge of Shenzhen, Beijing, and Tel Aviv. Okay, and one of our team here, our anti-latency is one of our team in Vive. Okay. So another thing that we have is we have a VRVCA, VRVC association, which have more than 50 members on the VC. They would like to invest in VR and AR. Of course, it's like they're no longer that hot in VR and AR, but still, if they want to invest in AR, we can recommend teams to them. Okay, and there's a third-party research organization called DigiCapital. They research, okay, they compile a chart of like what are the leaders in the VR and AR industry, and actually a lot of our Vive's company is in this chart. Okay, what we've achieved is that for the last 3 batch, we actually have like 30% of the teams actually got follow investment in this very, very cold climate, investment climate. And these are some of the very successful funding cases like OPEC Studio, Open, Seven Invention, okay? And actually it's like anti-latency, although they're using our competitor device, they have like pretty much like the biggest well installation in China, having like, how many people? 100? 150 people using the VR device, okay, in a Mercedes marketing case. This is TPCast, okay, it actually was the first wireless adapter for VR, okay, which I incubated. And it is actually Kobe Bryant, if you're not aware of, okay, using our device and when it's first launched to the market. Actually, the company actually is moving towards 5G. They enable like cloud VR and cloud rendering. Directive Game, it is like a third-party game studio. It's the only third-party game studio was presented in 2 consecutive Apple events for their very, very good AR game. I mentioned about eye tracking, right? In 2017, Apple, Facebook, and Google all acquired different eye tracking companies because eye tracking is so important because they can generate so many data, they know where you're looking into, and of course it's like it allows them to control the VR or AR interface very, very naturally. So eye tracking is very, very important. Okay, it's a trend. Every single device in the future will have eye tracking. And then we also have 2 eye tracking companies, actually. And one of them is called Seven Invention. It is actually doing the reference design for Qualcomm, okay, Qualcomm device. I mentioned about like BCI, the brain computer interface. We have a Vive company incubated from MIT. They're doing a lot of different sensors. Actually, we have quite a few BCI company in Vive as well, because think about this. It's like in VR, it will be in the future. Ultimate VR will be just BCI. You're going to implant chips into your brain. And then you don't need like goggles, you don't need controller, doing anything. But it's like too far away from the future. But we're incubating. Open, okay, this company is doing a lot of like different AI for like a motion, for like gesture, whatever. They raise a lot of money through like AI, VR, and blockchain project. They are actually very aligned with our Vive Reality initiative. Another company, we incubate them when they're very, very small, and actually they got a lot of different projects. Okay, unfortunately we cannot see it. They're working on McLaren project that I mentioned, and working on IKEA, which simulate different very, very good environment. Okay, unfortunately we cannot watch the video. Okay, I don't know, can you play this video? Hello? Because it's very important, I really want to play this video. Can this video be played? Hello? No. Can this?
Ребята, можете запустить видео?
Have anyone tried a Magic Leap before? Okay. What do you think about Magic Leap? Okay. Actually, for me, it's a little bit disappointing. It's like the FOV is not really, like, you're not going to see the whale, right? And this company that we have, okay, you can see that the FOV, the field of view is so wide, right? And actually, it's like, it is like the ultimate solution for like AR glasses. And it works. Think about this. It's like, in the future, your glasses, like this big, right? It can be all like AR, overlaid with the real world. That is very important. Okay, I'm not too sure you can play, but yeah, it's a company that we incubated in Israel. I think it cannot be played. Can it? Okay. Anyway, yeah, we have a lot of different applications. Say, for example, the Israeli company, they can do like 2 photos, they can generate like a 3D model automatically. Okay, and it's been like used by a lot of like e-tailer in China. I'm not too sure which one it is, but I cannot play. Okay, this very good game that won a lot of Mobile World Gaming Award, the Spark of Light, if you do really want to try it. And some company do like medical therapy, especially psychological therapy in VR, which is very important because VR is the platform that can change your brain directly. OPEC Studio that I mentioned is doing a lot of film program for NASA for astronaut training. Another thing is about soccer training. Okay, soccer training is very important. For like China, with like 1.4 billion population, they cannot even find like 11 players to compete in a World Club, right? And actually, we have a research project with this team. Is a team from Barcelona. It's like the capital of football, okay? They come in China, and then they have a research with the General Sport Administration and find out that through 6 hours in VR, some particular skill in the soccer field can be improved by like 50%. And then right now, a lot of soccer club is using the training in VR, soccer training in VR. And of course, we have some more like haptics. Say this one is doing haptics suit in Korea. And this one is like, this is the haptic device that you can not only simulate heat, cold, but also pain in VR, making everything super, super immersive. And this pretty much, we actually have a lot of like Vive company that were doing like cutting edge technology or to business application, to government application, or like general entertainment. But yes, we don't have enough time to cover all. But actually, it's like we are incubating a lot of companies for the future of VR or the AR. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin.